Shalom, welcome to the Jewish View. My name is Rabbi Nachman Simon with Chabad House of Delmar, and together with my co-host Mark Ronich. Listen, Mark, I thought you invited us to a Kiddush over on Shabbos.
Well, we can certainly emulate that, and we have a gastronomic extravaganza here. So I went to Kosherfest 2017 out down in Secaucus, New Jersey, and brought back some goodies, and some of the companies were gracious enough to send me some of their food. So we're going to be showing the audience a lot of what we brought back from Kosherfest. And with us today is our premier guest, Marty Stein, who is from Loudonville. He's an independent food broker, and he's a judge at Kosherfest. So he chooses what would be best. He's one of many panelists.
One of the five judges.
One of five judges in the whole country, in the whole world, because Kosherfest is worldwide. I noticed that this year we had people from Sri Lanka and Philippines,
all over the world.
Israel and Japan and Korea and China. I mean, it was amazing how many people, how many different countries, really focus on the kosher food industry. So that was really great to find out.
So we'll see who the winners are here.
Okay. So Marty, welcome to the Jewish View.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here, but I do live in Manans, not Loudonville.
Okay.
Close enough. We're next door neighbors. Mark?
Yes.
The first thing you do on Shabbos, when you come home, after you come to the temple and the synagogue, is you make Kiddush on wine. You always have a lot of wine. There's a lot of kosher wines. So this is actually very special wine. Maybe, Marty, you want to talk about it? This is, again, these are special products that Mark and Marty are showing us because, of course, you can go to any kosher store and buy, there's all kinds of wines and kind of foods, but these are special new things.
Of all the wines that we had to judge, this was chosen because of the uniqueness of the product, the taste, and it's really a very nice shaped bottle there. It has a lot of sale appeal.
But there's something very interesting right on the label, if our viewers can see it. It says organic.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's good. So something that's organic, that's the modern consumer. You see so many people are, you see on labels vegan and organic. They never had that. When I was a kid, you never had those kind of labels before. So
organic is a very popular category.
You see, this is a winner, and organic.
And it's De La Rosa wine. So it's something that if you don't see in your local, liquor store or grocery store, you might want to request it and even, email De La Rosa Wines that this is something that you want.
Sure they have national distribution.
But it may not be in a certain area.
Certain areas,
so
right.
So this is going out.
On a case-by-case basis.
This program is is everywhere, so you don't know where the need will be, So we're going to taste some of this, right?
Give us a little l'chaim over here.
Do a little l'chaim.
Oh, there's a l'chaim.
Okay, so here we go. We're opening up the award-winning wine.
Well, Shabbos, or we'd make Kiddush, but usually you could make Kiddush on this.
Okay, well, you could...
See if you can...
Yep, I'll get this open.
There you go.
Okay, watch out.
Look out.
Here we go.
Oh! There you go. You could be a bartender, Mark.
Oh, my first job. Okay. And we had cups.
I have a cup here.
Here, Mark has a cup.
Here we go. Cups are coming up.
Blue. Okay, thank you.
Go.
Oh, look at that.
Purple cups for a purple bottle of wine.
That's it. Look at that.
Color-coordinated wine.
Okay. I chose right. All right, Marty.
Thank you.
So we'll say Kiddush.
And then Rabbi. And I'll pour for you first.
That's good enough for me.
That's good enough?
All right, so
that's perfect. Thank you.
The Kiddush, we would say a whole blessing, but at least we'll say the blessing over the wine.
Okay.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri ha'gofen. It is very good.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's excellent.
So, Mazel Tov to De La Rosa Wines. Now,
they did a good job.
After
what do we do after
wine,
Kiddush? This is like the Passover Seder, Kadesh, Urachad. Karpaz, but well, that's for the Passover Seder.
That's
you
right.
have a whole more rigmarole. But
We
then,
have so we wash our hands afterwards,
excellent.
and then we.
You wanna show-
Well, this one, the Laramie.
Well, the big, well, we're all dead.
right here.
All right, so now
take
this
that
is
off.
whole wheat challah, and this comes from this company Laramie. Is that how you pronounce it, Laramie?
Laramie.
Okay. So
Picking up.
do we have a good shot of this? Yes, no, yeah, it's good.
All right, there we go. So
Good shot.
normally on Shabbos
Okay.
you would kiddush and then, like you say, have a piece of challah. You see it's braided bread. Usually you have a big rye bread. It's a blob bread or a white bread. But Mark is going to show everybody that it's braided because on Shabbos you want to have everything nice. That's why we have a nice cup of wine and we have a nice braided bread and makes everything special on
Okay.
the Sabbath. That's Friday night and Shabbos day.
Okay, so you have to say a bracha over this,
Yeah, well,
and then we cut.
cut. Well, you can have some.
Okay, so do we
Go
just
ahead.
cut now?
If you want to cut, then cut.
Okay,
Have a piece.
okay,
I'm ready for the next course already.
okay.
Thank you.
All right, good. Marty will be our taste tester. He's our judge.
Well, I love whole wheat challah.
You're a healthy guy, Mark.
Very good.
This is so good. Now, challah needs to be, if you're going to keep challah more than a few days, you got to keep it either frozen or in the refrigerator. You don't want it to be outside in room temperature, because if you do that, this is what happens to you.
Yeah.
Okay? You get this little, you get little stinky rolls at that point.
Maybe he has some penicillin.
Yeah. So I want you to see
So you have to
that
be sure.
you need to have, you don't want these green spots. These are called, this is being fafalt. It's stale.
Yeah.
So we got to throw these out, but I wanted to bring it to show the audience that really these, the challah, this challah was frozen, and then we defrosted it before we came to the show, and we have a beautiful tasting challah for Shabbos for our set here. But anyway,
Get rid of those over here. You can't eat it. Not healthy.
that's right.
We'll just put these away over here.
However, there are some products like this from Laramie, which is a breakaway babka cake, which sometimes you have for dessert. Is that a good shot? Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. Now this was
That's
not refrigerated, and it did not. It was not for fault, so you can only imagine what went into this. In terms
Thank
of
you.
the ingredients. Would you like?
You're
some?
giving dessert already? We didn't eat the
Dessert.
meal yet, and Mark's already going for dessert. Sounds like my kid.
But I want to show that not everything needs to be.
Frozen.
Frozen.
Not everything needs to be frozen, and not everything needs to be refrigerated. So you don't have to be so picky, but certainly you got to use common sense. So enjoy. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful.
Keep
Now,
going.
my other experiment, which I do every year, this has a expiration date of January 6th of 2016.
Oh,
And this is Blue Isle yogurt spread. So I got this at Kosherfest in 2015, and I have kept it refrigerated all these many years. And I got to tell you
still good?
that this is still good, and I'm going to show you that I'm going to dip the challah
Oh,
in here.
human experiment.
Oh, it's so good. It's like blueberry cream cheese almost, yogurt, blueberry yogurt. It is so delicious. So, again, these products do last be longer than the shelf life that's listed on the label. Well, I don't know. They're doing something good with the chemicals they're putting in here, but
You better make some room for some other products, Mark.
Okay.
Yeah, I know. So they're actually on Shabbos, one of the first meals after we have the challah, there's always like fish and salad. The reason we eat fish on the Sabbath specifically, is because if you read the Bible on this, that the fish were given a special blessing, pru, be fruitful, multiply. You have swarms of fish, they call schools of fish. Animals have one or two children in their litter, but fish have like swarms. So we want to be fruitful and multiply also. Should have a lot of blessings in everything, not only our children and everything we do. So we have a lot of fish. Should we show?
okay. So we need.
Try to get that fish here.
We have from
So I'm-
Kosherfest.
So I'm
they
going to go
actually
fishing.
had, live fish, or not live fish, but no, that's. But it's fish that was in ice and wasn't packaged. It was just in these huge ice buckets, and it's fresh fish. So Rabbi Simon is going to hold the fish, and if he wants to,
I'm not going to eat it, but it ain't.
but you know, like on Rosh Hashanah, we take the head of the fish.
Head of the fish, because we want to be, Rosh Hashanah literally means not only New Year, but the head of the year. And we want to be a head and not a tail. So
Right.
that's why in Rosh Hashanah there's a custom to eat the head of the fish. You don't have to, if you like the head of the fish, you can eat the whole year. This was a whole fish, and just a few kosher laws is just that you see here fins,
Right.
fins and scales, here, fins and
Right.
scales right there. And those are your two signs of a kosher fish. So this, you have mackerel and you have tuna, major fishes, which wouldn't be the situation
Yes. Continue.
like a lobster, oysters, clams. Pick that up a little bit.
Okay. Get some help from the beachers.
But of course, that you could eat a big whole fish, and that's really I wanted to show what fins and scales are. But here we have there's other kinds of fish which maybe people would more enjoy. Here's a gefilte fish. So therefore, I always kid the kids, you know, if they go to the aquarium, do they fish for a gefilte fish? But gefilte means filled. It's a Yiddish word, Jewish word. And because there's an issue of all the bones, you don't want to separate the bones on the Sabbath, on the Shabbos. So this is just already made out of gefilte fish. That's what you normally would see in the stores. There's jars of gefilte fish. This is a little
frozen.
bit nicer.
And wasn't
Frozen.
this award-winning, or?
No,
No.
it's new product. It's just a new product this year for
It's a
Passover.
new product this year.
For Passover 2018.
Okay. And what about the fish? What do you do with the fish if you get a fish like this? I brought you a knife in case you wanted to.
I'm not looking to eat that. But
No,
my
but do
wife
we-
is the one who cooks it.
But you have to, what, cut the tail or cut the head or
Really, the whole fish is allowed to be eaten.
the whole fish?
Yeah, really, if you want to
Okay.
eat it. So people do eat, like you say, a piece of the head on Rosh Hashanah.
Okay, so they gave me this
Yeah.
blue fish. Literally, it's
They
a
didn't
blue
dye it,
fish.
so really
They
is.
didn't dye it. And maybe if you're on a diet. But this is an interesting.
But again, again, that's just a good point. But again, you see fins and scales. So even though you know what are normal, the cod and the
Haddock.
haddock, salmon, these are quote unquote normal fish. But on the other hand, there are other fish, and like you're seeing here, some unique fish. As long as they have the fins and scales,
But they're
then
not
it would be
scavengers,
kosher.
and they're not scavengers. They don't mainly eat everything at the bottom of the ocean.
Right, that's
Is
good.
that right?
Excellent. I mean, the fins and scales the main thing, but then you see that these are the freshwater fish.
Because you know you have catfish, which is very popular down in Louisiana, and I don't think that's kosher.
Not
And,
kosher, you're right.
You know, so that's another way to tell if you don't know anything else. You know that if the like lobster's a scavenger, and other if it's a scavenger, then you don't want.
Yeah, it's a dirty fish in a way
Right,
because
it's and these are
garbage.
cleaner. And then we have
A real Jewish
all-time
idea.
favorite.
There you go.
And you have to bring this on the show. If you don't, you don't.
For while you're cutting that up, here's like, again, we were talking about kosher fish, and things are so ready-made nowadays, not like our grandparents.
Right.
They took a live fish and they scaled it, and here everything is so
Ready to eat.
ready to eat. So here's like a package of salmon. Wait a second.
So this is from Arcadian Atlantic. Do you know that company, Marty?
I don't know that one per
Okay.
se.
So let me ask you this: do you like salmon or lox? Or
You see, with bagels.
with bagels?
We need
Usually
a
with
bagel.
bagels.
How about? Do you have? No, okay.
No, no.
Only with bagels, no other type of bread.
Yeah, just with bagels. That's just
Okay.
me.
Okay.
That's my
well,
way of eating lox.
I have to tell you,
Mark's going to test us out.
I like salmon. Why do they call it salmon and not lox? Do you know? Is there a reason?
Maybe it's a Jewish word.
I think it would be the Jewish way of calling the product.
It's not. They're the same. Lox and salmon is the same.
I would
just
assume
asking.
so.
Yeah. Okay. I mean,
All
I'm
right.
sure that if I'm asking, there are people out there watching this that's asking the same thing. So anyway, here's my lox sandwich. Now, we had the Erie Canal in New York State, and I told the canal director that as a boat goes through the locks, they should give bagels.
But here, Mark, is just even different. Like, again, everything is packaged and special. That's what I'm saying. Well, with Kosherfest, they have all kinds of new kinds of things. This is Norwegian salmon, Mediterranean.
Yep.
So this guy has probably a little different spices in it.
It's called Smokezilla, so it's smoked.
Smoked. There's a little dill vodka.
Right.
Again, everything
Just
is
flavorings, that's all.
These are yes. And this is basically smoked salmon, which is lox. But
It's absolutely delicious. I tasted this. They're absolutely delicious salmon and lox and from
so
this
all kinds
company,
of different
Smokezilla.
lox. So did we had holly. Now again, like I said, you just don't have fish. Usually there's some kind of salad. Again, really we have to reiterate, some people say their diets are in a way restricted. Like Mark was just telling us, no lobsters and no clams. And of course, no pig products are kosher. Says, hey, you're tying my hands behind my back. I can't cook. But that's one of the ideas we say. There are incredible kosher products out there, number one. And number two, you can be very creative in what you're serving. So even we say salad, well, there must be books or hundreds of different salads, and that's what we're going to show now. Just even do all different kinds of ingredients for salads. You can be very creative.
This is called Fresh and Tender Spring Mix, but I think what it is isn't this romaine lettuce?
It's like romaine.
I'm sorry?
It looks like romaine.
Looks like romaine, right?
Yeah.
So with romaine lettuce, you have a special process in terms of making sure it's kosher. Is that true?
All right, excellent. Actually, this is very important when Mark's bringing out. You say, well, what's lettuce? All right, a fish, fins and scales. All right, and we're going to talk about meat in a different show, but dairy, it has to come from a cow, a kosher animal. Says, well, wait a minute, what's a lettuce? There's nothing non-kosher about a lettuce over here, but really there could be. And that's very, very important. And that is just that that one of the kosher laws, again, we said about pig, but one of the things, even the smallest little insects are not kosher. So again, no one's going to have a plate of insects, but on the other hand, insects do infest different products, like lettuce, for example.
So you have to hold it up to a light to make sure that it's that there's no insects, right? You can see right through this.
You're right, but here they want to say one thing that that this is local indoor farms.
Right.
So therefore, when you have like a greenhouse, well, it wasn't
And this
there.
is from Fresh Box Farms, so out of New Jersey. So, we have to give them a friendly plug, shameless plug. Fresh Box Farms.
But since it's local indoor farms,
Yes.
I'm sure they can grow them in the winter also. That also makes it more productive. But we're concerned about kosher, not the economics here. And that means that they can keep an environment where the bugs won't fly around and then land into their lettuce. So really, a person like Mark, you were right. You should really check for bugs. But, really, it's a little bit better if that they claim there's no bugs and it's indoor. So that would be made the only thing that would make it non-kosher. You don't want to eat any bugs that are here. But there's a lot of different, like I said, this is, as you see here, it's kale.
Right.
Keep going.
Here's romaine.
You had romaine. This is...
I'll tell you what, I'll eat romaine.
all right, you're healthy. This, again, I've been emphasizing constantly that, nowadays you have the vegan, you have the organic, and people more and more being healthy, which is great. And you see in the label here, with local grown without pesticides.
Right.
So again, that's another thing that, again, something, kosher, you can get filter fish and borscht. But, like schmaltz, people use them, Marty, always people would cook with schmaltz, chicken fat, which is obviously not too healthy nowadays. But again, people are more and more conscious of
Healthy.
Mm-hmm. This
And
kale,
this is made
spinach.
in Millis, Massachusetts.
What do you have?
says-
What kind of?
So this is chard. I thought it said Chabad, but it's
Yeah,
chard.
there's another.
Pretty close.
But it's rainbow chard, so that's why I was opening it up,
Oh,
so
to show.
that people could see that
Multicolored.
that there's very colorful packaging, and the lettuce there's some red, there's some yellow.
These are again very healthy. Again,
so
compared to
it
your
makes the
regular
salad
salad.
look a lot fuller and
beautiful.
more than just green. Yeah.
Keep going. We have a few others.
Spinach.
Yeah, all right.
I
Eat
love
your
my
spinach.
spinach.
All right.
You got to be
strong.
strong like Popeye. Okay, I never open these right. Okay.
All right.
So this is spinach.
All right.
Spinach.
Eat your
Come on.
spinach. Eat your
Come eat
spinach.
spinach.
Oh, there you go. Mark's a healthy guy there.
There you go. That's my spinach. So now we went through salad, but sometimes you give soup. And thing.
Well, that's the next thing. You soup.
So-
all right.
There's this. This isn't real. It's not exactly soup, but it's a complete meal replacement. That's from Levana, and basically, you have a pouch with powder, and you mix it with
Mix it too. We
water.
made it
And
before.
this is garden vegetable, so it's like a vegetable soup,
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
and it's very good. It's really delicious. So you could fool your kids, I guess, if they like vegetable soup. That's and it's OU Parov. And
Show this here. Can you see? Can people see that?
I don't know.
See it now. We're getting a whole meal here, Mark.
We are. Oh, you should have seen me at Kosherfest.
Yeah.
All right.
Testing it all out.
And then for dessert, sometimes you want to offer tea.
Sure.
So there's a company, Shalom Tea, which is really good tea. I mean, this is.
Where's it made? I mean, such
West
a
Coast. It's the West Coast.
Well,
It's a
that's
West Coast,
interesting.
yeah.
Tacoma, Washington.
They're offering it to
And they have.
Jewish people. Shalom.
Yeah, and they have different types of artisanal blends called Menorah tea, Burning Bush tea, Zion's Fruit Tisane, Abba's Earl Grey tea, Rivka's breakfast tea, L'chaim Herbal Tisane. It reminds me of the beer company that's north of Albany,
Schmaltz.
that Schmaltz,
Schmaltz.
beer. So it's everything.
Hebrew.
Very interesting.
But this
though,
is Star
they're-
of David, Citrus Tisane, Blessed Shabbat, Golda's Peachy, Sarah's Gold Cup Green Tea, Einstein's Lavender. But you know what and then they have Hadassah's Ginger Lemon Peach Tisane. But this is Eden's apple green tea. And Rabbi Simon has some of that. We poured it
Be
for
healthy.
him earlier. So, Rabbi, why don't you have a little bit of this
L'chaim, l'chaim.
Eden's
L'chaim.
apple green tea?
I mean, again, it's amazing to me, and I don't know if, like our viewers, again, I always say I'm 29 years old, but so many years ago, as I was making fun, but it's a little bit the truth. If you want to keep kosher, it's almost like borscht and a piece of gefilte fish.
Right.
And now, that's why I hope the viewers understand, you really, I think you can almost get any taste sensation, the most modern kind of wines, the best wines and salads and teas. And the kosher consumer is very, very strong economically because, again, this even amazes to me that here they make a whole tea company really geared for the Jewish person, Shalom and Rebecca, all the names that you were just saying. And the kosher consumers are very, very strong economically and growing in the United States. And like you say, there are products all over the world that are keeping kosher.
Oh,
More
now-
and more every day.
And like
New
the,
products every week.
and like the main course is usually a chicken or some beef.
Want to show the other show?
And well, yeah. Oh, okay.
Once you're here, I mean,
Yeah, you could
show
show
you.
them over here.
there's all these other different kind of teas.
Right. Menorah tea. Right. So they got those types of tea. But you know, you normally would have a some sort of meat dish. So that'll be on another show because you know you can have because even after fish, you got to clear the table, right? Because the fish product or the fish forks shouldn't mix with the meat.
Yeah, it's really not from the Torah. Really, milk and meat is the major issue that you don't want to get entangled with. But it does say that it's harmful to eat the milk with fish. So again,
Well,
being-
milk with fish. But
milk-
what about meat? Why do you clear the fish forks and the fish
the
dishes?
fish, because it also says the fish and the meat shouldn't be mixed together.
Okay.
So, again, one of the ideas kosher, even though these are religious laws, and
Right.
but on the other hand, there is a logic to them. You have to be healthy also. Even though, like I said, schmaltz maybe.
Well, that's
You
not,
know,
like you said, it's not in fashion right now.
Yeah.
So even for dessert, if you could pass me the cheesecake there. Yeah, we do have cheesecake.
They
Which
shouldn't even eat it after the
what?
meat. I mean, just
No.
be sure you tell people.
But there's a spoon included in here,
Oh, so you can have it on
and
this
it's real
one.
cream cheese and a butter graham cracker crust. And I got to tell you,
Sounds good.
this is absolutely phenomenal. So I just want you to know that this is from Gavini,
We put it on
G-E-V-I-N-N-I.
top.
And as we wrap up, I just
Mark
want,
just probably put on a few pounds.
oh, I just had tastes.
All right.
Wait till I have a whole meal, then you can say that, you know. But anyway, this
Good
is
packaging. It keeps it better.
so I'm going to eat ourselves off the show, and
Leave you eating over here.
thank you very much for all the companies that gave us supplies. I hope the audience has learned that there are more products out there than in your grocery store shelves. And if you see something on the show that you really want, then you can ask your supermarket
for it.
manager, advocate for it, go online and try to find the product. And I'm sure you'll enjoy it as much as I do. It's so good.
All right, thank you very much over
Oh.
here, Mark. Over here, we'll leave you eating, and just thank you to all our viewers to show the new kosher
Oh.
products with Marty over here, judging the best products in the new kosher line. Thank you very much.
A pleasure to be here.